everybody. We're looking inside my main Indian blue bin, and once again, it is just about ready for harvest. I'm going to do one final feeding to get the worms to the end of the bin to start the, I guess as AV calls it, I like his term, the horizontal migration. That's a very good term to describe what we want to do. Thanks, AV. If I use your term, I won't steal it. You have credit. Just joking. But anyway, so this is the main Indian blue worm bin, and I have already gone through and checked that there is no food left in this bin. And now, this isn't a bus bin. This is a Rubbermaid bin, and I don't know if you can see just how deep this is, but there is a ton of castings in here, and I mean a ton. These worms have, I cannot believe how fast. I'm going to try to just pick it up and show you the quantity and the quality of these castings. Here's a little piece of cup holder, but there's just nothing left. They have chowed down and devoured through everything in little time. And like I said, this isn't a bus bin. This is a large, let me see if I can tell what it is. I don't know. It's Rubbermaid. I don't know how many gallons it is, but I mean, if I put my arms in, it's really, really deep. And it goes from, let me pan you a little bit. It goes from this down here all the way across to over here, and then one side to the other side, and it's really deep. So there's a lot of castings in here. I can't even guess the weight. And if you look at close-ups of the castings here, you'll see, and you can see cocoons. This one stuck to that worm. You'll see how nice, really loamy. I love that word, loamy. I don't know why. Loamy. Just sounds like a good thing, doesn't it? Loamy. I said I want my hair to be loamy, but I want my earth to be loamy. I don't know. Okay, so they are just about done. All that's left in here, besides worms and cocoons, is a little bit of leaves and a little bit of cardboard. There's not a bit of food other than the little bit of leaves and a little bit of cardboard. So let me try to pile it more to the middle so you can get a better view of just, let me pile this up here, and I'm going to try to zoom back a little bit so you can have a better view. Well, I've tried to adjust it as best as I can. This bin is so big, and my camera skills aren't that great, but I'm just going to try to show you just a general peek, and then I'm going to ask for your input. In a feeding or baiting experience, we're going to offer these worms two options, on one option on each side of the bin, and I'm going to ask for you all to leave your guess at the bottom in the comment section, and let's see who's right, or not who's right. I'm hoping there's more than one comment, but let's see what percentage of the guesses are right. Now, keep in mind, these are Indian blue worms. So I'm going to get the food options set up for you to choose from. Okay, so here it is. On one end of the bin, I'm going to scoop in these 2 cans of 100% organic pumpkin. The ingredients are pureed pumpkin, nothing else. And on the other end, I have, I guess what would be called worm chow, and it is ground rolled oats ground steel cut oats and ground hulled buckwheat. And I'm going to make a little trough on each end, put the food in. For the pumpkin end, I'm not going to add water. It is plenty wet. I'm also not going to add bedding because this is the final feeding for this bin before I harvest it. I'm kind of letting them finish up the little bits and pieces. Since there is still cardboard and leaves in here, I don't need to. And with the worm chow, I'm going to add a little bit of water because it'll be too dry for them to eat if I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to this bin. Okay, I've added the food. To the left hand side is the organic canned pumpkin, just pumpkin, nothing else added. To the right is the worm chow, which is a combination of oats and buckwheat that are ground. And I did add a little bit of water to the dry food side. So I'm gonna just go ahead and cover this up a little bit. I'm not gonna cover it too deeply because the deeper you cover things, the more like the hotter they heat up. I'm not so worried about the oat side, but the pumpkin side could heat up pretty quickly. But I think whichever food is the preferred choice, it's going to be gone rather rapidly because this bin is hungry and the population is so very high. You couldn't see it today, or the population, because there was no worm ball. The worms were scattered all over the place because I had just gone through the bin thoroughly just to do a food inspection, and that's when I made the determination that it's ready for its final feeding and then a harvest. I'm again very pleased with how fast these worms processed this material, and I will see if I can put together a little recap of all the feedings. They have gone through a massive amount of food since the last harvest. So again, the Indian blue worms may be smaller than others, but boy, they are mighty. Okay, folks, so if you would please put a comment below. Pumpkin, which is canned, or dry worm chow. That's it. Pumpkin or worm chow, which do you think is going to attract the most amount of worms? Now, because the worms are scattered about, I don't expect all to go to one or the other. I think equally there's going to be worms that like both, right? So, but I think one is going to draw a lot more worms than the other. And if you agree with me, let me know. Or you can say, I think it will be equal. So pumpkin, dry oats, equal. And I'm going to give this, let's see, 4 days. We're going to check in on it on Saturday because by then, whatever the worms decide, they will be there. And we'll do an update then and see what side ends up winning. And what I'm going to do is take the lid off the can that the pumpkin was in and place it on top here, just so we know which side had the pumpkin. And I'm not going to add any bedding to this, but I do have a paper bag I'm going to put over it that I do keep over it. So that's it. Leave your comments below, and you can look for a follow-up on this video on Saturday. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up if you would, please, as well as a comment of what you think, how you think this is going to work out, if you've done this before, what your results have been, and share the video with anybody you think that would like it. And most of all, stay safe, be happy, and have an awesome day. See you on Saturday, everyone.